Daniel, I hate cooking, but I love Jjapaghetti. This is Jjapaghetti. This is super popular in Korea, especially among young kids. If you go to any convenience store right around like 3 or 4, you'll see like students just like going through a lot of Jjapaghetti. Today, I'm going to show you how to turn instant Jjapaghetti into a gourmet jjajangmyeon. Any place that sells Asian noodles, they'll have Jjapaghetti. Jjapaghetti is actually Korea's second best-selling brand of instant noodles. And this doesn't taste exactly like jjajangmyeon, like delivery jjajangmyeon you can get in Korea, but it's close enough. If you live in a country where there's no Korean mart and you can't find chunjang, which is the black bean paste to make the jjajangmyeon sauce, this way is a great way to try jjajangmyeon. Guys, 2 stalks of spring onion. This we're gonna need to fragrance our oil. We'll put this here. Then we're gonna need half an onion. For jjajangmyeon, onion is probably the most important ingredient. Cut it into chunks. And then we're going to use some pork. If you can't have pork, go ahead and use beef. That's fine. About 250 grams. I went ahead and bought the chopped version. If you buy a chunk of pork, just cube it up. Just to get rid of any porky smell, you can add about a half a tablespoon of mirin and then some black pepper. All right? And a little thing of salt. But Daniel, what do you mean mirin? I don't have that in my pantry. It's all right, just skip it. You don't have to add mirin. And that was it for the fresh ingredients. One thing that's particular to Jjapaghetti, they include a little packet of olive oil. It's a little bit oil that you drizzle, but we're going to turn it into a gourmet sauce. So I too am going to use some, Prosecco and use some olive oil as well. We're going to need 3 tablespoons worth. And then we also need 3 Jjapaghetti bags. All right, the reason when you're making jjajangmyeon, it's better to cook with a lot of ingredients. That way you get like this deep flavor. If you just portion off one person serving and try to make it, you just don't get that nice flavor. So open each one up. See the little packet of olive oil? You can add it to this if you like. You have the little flakes, the Jjapaghetti dry powder. This is basically the jjajangmyeon powder in powder form. And we're gonna need 3 of these. All right, these 3 packets are exactly what we need to make our sauce. And as far as the noodles, I'm only gonna use 2. That's because when we finish, we're only gonna have enough jjajangmyeon sauce to cover like 2 servings of ramen. All right, it's time to cook. Let's put this on a medium heat. Put in our 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Then let's add in our spring onions. Let's get them sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Infuse the oil. After around 30 seconds, when you can start smelling that spring onion in the air, let's add in our onions. Very good. Stir fry this together. And once the onions start turning translucent, let's add in our pork pieces. Woo! And we're gonna stir fry that in. All right, guys, then once most of the pink is gone, you don't have to cook it all the way through now. We'll turn off the heat. It's all right, it's not gonna run away. We're gonna move to the right and we're gonna bring a pot of water to boil. The instruction says 5분, which means 5 minutes. Plop these babies in. 5 minutes on the clock. I'm excited to show you guys the final result of the jjajangmyeon. I like to lift it out of the water a little bit. It makes it a little bit chewier and bouncier while it's cooking. Actually, I don't know if that's actually true. That's just what they say on Korean TV. Now time is almost up. I want you to scoop out 2 soup ladles worth of the starch water. You know, when we cook pasta, we add some pasta water into the sauce, and that helps with emulsification, which is basically getting that pasta sauce to stick onto the noodles. Well, essentially, ramen noodles is pasta as well. So let's get a little bit of the starch water. We're gonna add that to the sauce later. Ooh, look at those noodles, nice and big. Let's toss it out. All right, then rinse it under cold water. This will stop the cooking process. The noodles are cooked perfectly. They're a little koldur. In Korean, that means a bit curly. Which is nice. Let's give it a little squeeze test with one of them. Yeah, that's perfect. We'll let it drip off excess water. Now, put this on a medium-high heat. We're just about done. That signature Jjapaghetti jjajangmyeon powder sauce. Oh, that's a long word. We'll put that in. All 3. Very nice. Put it in. Oh, that jjajangmyeon is coming together, y'all.
How long more do it gonna take?
About 30 seconds.
Wow.
Wow, look at that. And then remember that starch water? Let's put in 1 tablespoon's worth. Give it a stir fry. All right. And then we just have to wait until that sauce reduces down just a little bit more. Look at that thing go. Guys, in Korea, there's a version of jjajangmyeon called Gan-jjajang, and this one is my favorite. This variation, Gan-jjajang, it's more dry. There's not that much liquid, and I really like this version. Now, if you guys want to have it a little bit more liquidy, like a regular jjajangmyeon, just add in another soup ladle's worth. But I do like this Gan-jjajang style, so I'll turn off the heat here. Woo! Oh my gosh. Now grab a little bit of your ramen, about half. Put it onto our plate. Then our Gan-jjajang, we're gonna put it to one side. Oh. Holy schmolies. Top it off with a little bit of green onions in the back.
It smells amazing. Ooh.
And boom, there it is,
This
y'all.
looks like jjajangmyeon.
It does, right? And just like that, from this to that. Now again, if you want a little bit more sauce, just add in that extra soup ladle. All right, Katie, you want to do the honors?
Yeah, I'm going all in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Katie, you love these instant ramens.
I know.
So that's why you got to tell me how it is.
Growing up, I had so many jjapaghetti.
I didn't actually have a lot of jjapaghetti.
Really?
Yeah. My mom wasn't a fan of it, so she didn't buy a lot of it, but...
No, like my mom was away for work. I would just make this at home. Just like have it with my brother. It was like our go-to food. Look at that.
Wow, you did a great job mixing. For sure, you've been eating jjapaghetti your whole life. Ain't no
Look at
amateurs
that.
here.
I love how you put all this
Onions? Yeah.
It's really good. So if you haven't tried jjapaghetti, it's gonna taste a little bit different to the jjajangmyeons that you order in or have at like Korean Chinese restaurants. But it tastes really good in its own way. And I can still recognize this taste because I just grew up eating this. So it has a very special place in my heart, very nostalgic
Aww.
taste. And yeah, Daniel, there's something missing though.
What?
We miss kimchi!
Kimchi does taste good with everything. Here is Katie's beautiful version and the chef's leftover back of the kitchen dinner.